So you're in your 20s and you want to get rich. You constantly see influencers on social media showing their luxurious lifestyle. Yachts, mansions, party of expensive cars, watches worth more than most people's houses, etc. At only 20 years old, I built a pretty interesting life for myself, as you can see. And no, I don't come from a rich background. In this video, I want to share with you a step-by-step game plan that you can follow starting today to get rich in your 20s. It's the same process that allowed me to get to where I am today, and I am still using this process to continue to build wealth. So everything I'm about to share with you comes directly from my own experience. The first thing I want to share with you is not something that you need to do in order to build great wealth, but rather it is something that you must avoid at any cost. Otherwise, you obliterate any chance of becoming successful. If you're often browsing YouTube, or if you're very active on social media in general, chances are you'll often see people promoting cryptocurrencies or real estate investments with no down payments, and you will also hear a lot of people preach that you need to invest $200 a month for 50 years straight in the stock market in order to build great wealth. Now, I'm not against investing in real estate or in the stock market, but I want to be completely transparent with you at all times. Real estate is a very difficult industry to get into. And besides, the truth is that if you want to build wealth with real estate, it would actually take you your entire life to do so. And if you clicked on this video, then you probably want to build wealth at a young age so that you can enjoy it while you're young. Your dream is not to spend decades climbing the corporate ladder just to maybe, hopefully one day, have enough money to do whatever it is that you want to do. And the goal is not to be the wealthiest of the graveyard. That's pointless. The goal is to obtain financial independence and to live a life that is worth living. A life that makes you feel excited to get out of bed in the morning each day because you can do whatever you want. You don't have to take the subway every day to see other people constantly drained, or to be stuck in traffic every morning and every evening as you come back from work for hours on end. All of that to work at a job that you hate just to pay off your student debts. Then you come back home, you watch a bit of Netflix, sleep, and then repeat the whole thing again and again for 50 years straight until you die. That's not what I personally call living. This is what I personally call modern slavery. Now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a job. I'm not one of those people who preach or even who think that everybody should have a business or be an entrepreneur. The truth is that entrepreneurship is tough and it's not made for everyone. But if you're still watching this video right now, then you probably resonate with the things I'm sharing with you. So when it comes to real estate and stocks, those are great to increase your net worth and to secure your wealth, but they're not the most efficient or the fastest way to build wealth in the first place. Rich people use real estate investments and stock market investments to get even richer, because as opposed to having millions simply sitting in a bank account, they can invest it, for instance, in the stock market and then have their dividends completely pay for their lifestyle, increasing their net worth at the same time. What you want to do instead is to create your own online business. That's the best way and also the fastest way to build wealth at a young age. Now, I'm sure that you've seen that there are many different online business models out there. However, the truth is that only a select few are actually viable for beginners. The thing that you have to understand is that while some businesses like e-commerce will allow you to make millions per month, they will be very difficult to succeed with as a beginner. To give you an example, the e-commerce brand Gymshark has made over $600 million in 2022. However, let's be real, if you wanted to start your own clothing brand and to compete with them, you would need to have at least a few $100,000 in startup capital. You would need to pay for designers, manufacturing, the website, partnerships with online influencers, and paid advertising to promote your brand. And most people definitely don't have access to $30,000 or to a few $100,000 when they are just starting out in business. Now, you have to be careful when you're thinking about starting an online business, because not every online business is as good as marketers claim. For instance, a lot of marketers online, they claim that dropshipping is the best online business to start for beginners. However, what they don't tell you is that it requires a lot of money to get started and to even get a chance at becoming profitable. You have to understand that things have changed. You can't expect to resell crappy AliExpress products and to make millions just like that. Now, if you want to discover what's the best online business to start as a beginner, click the link in the description. I have recorded a free video in which I analyze every popular business model to figure out which one is the best to start for beginners. And on top of that, I'm also going to share with you the simple 3-step process that we use to help people to obtain financial independence. Now, congratulations, you've built a thriving online business. You're now making $10,000 a month, even maybe $30,000 a month, or let's be crazy, $100,000 a month. Now, how do you get to the next level? Like I said earlier, real estate and stock market investments are great tools that the wealthy use to become even wealthier. The truth is, the top 1% in the world, they probably make a lot less money than you actually think. It turns out, as of 2021, the annual wage for the top 1%, it was just a little over $800,000. So by making $67,000 a month, you are already in the top 1% worldwide. Now, maybe you still want to make more money and to increase your net worth. That's fair. At this stage in your journey, you have two options to choose from. Your first option would be to keep reinvesting money into your business to fuel its growth. So you would pour as much money into it as possible so that you keep reinvesting and it keeps growing your business. Or your other option would be to take some of that money, some of your profit, and invest it into the stock market. Over the years, if you have done your research correctly and you educated yourself on how the stock market works and everything before you actually invest into it, you can expect to get a rate of 10 to 15 15% interest per year. This means that if you invest $100,000 in the stock market in year 1, in year 2 you would end up with $110,000, a 10% increase from the last year. And then what you can do is to live off of your dividends, meaning the dividends that you receive from your stock market investments, they completely pay for your lifestyle. So no matter what happens with your business, you're covered either way. This will take so much stress off of your shoulders, believe me. And not only will you increase your net worth and your wealth while your lifestyle is paid for, but you will also protect yourself from inflation. Remember that inflation benefits asset owners, not liability owners. To give you an example, if you own a house and that house is valued at 100k, if in 1 year the inflation goes up 10%, your house would now be worth $110,000. Now, if you don't own a house and you were about to buy a house for $100,000, now, because of the inflation, which would be in this example 10%, to buy that same house, you would need to spend $110,000, which is 10% more. And this example clearly shows you how the rich get richer from inflation and how it also makes the poor poorer. Now, it's great to make a lot of money, but what matters more than how much money you actually make is how much money you keep. A lot of businesses, they make gigantic numbers, like the revenue looks insane. However, they don't actually keep that much in profit. You'll see lots of people on social media bragging about how much money they've made with dropshipping. Like maybe you've seen, oh, I made $1 million in 24 hours with dropshipping. But what they don't show you is that they spent 6 months and $1.5 million to make that $1 million in the first place. So you have to be really careful when you see numbers, because most of the time people just want to pump up their egos, or they have a secret agenda, like maybe they want to sell you something, and so they're going to put the emphasis on the revenue because those are big numbers. However, they're never going to tell you how much was actual profit. So now that you have a very profitable online business and that your lifestyle is completely paid for by your different investments, what is the next step? Like, what if you wanted to make $10 million or $30 million or $100 million, maybe $500 million? What would you do to get to the next level? After doing my research, I realized that billionaires are billionaires not because they have a few rental units in real estate and not because they invested $200 a month for 50 years straight in the stock market, but rather billionaires are billionaires because they have a company that is worth at a few $1 billion. So if they were to cash out to sell their company, they would end up with a gigantic sum of money. Now, earlier I said that not every business is equal when it comes to how much money it can generate for you. Some business models will allow you to make millions on a monthly basis, but they will be very difficult to start as a beginner. To give you an example, a software company or an e-commerce brand like Gymshark, for instance, it can actually be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, even billions of dollars, and be sold for that same amount. But both these types of businesses, they require a huge amount of startup capital, which 99% of people do not possess. But now that you're making between $10,000 a month and $100,000 a month, and that your lifestyle is completely paid for by your stock market investments or your real estate investments, you have a lot of capital to invest in your next venture. This is the step in your entrepreneurial journey where you take the money, the profit that is produced by your cash flow business, and you invest it as startup capital to start your new business, your new venture, which has the potential to sell for dozens, hundreds of millions of dollars, or even billions of dollars. A cash flow business will never get you to 50 million a month. However, it will provide you with the necessary funds, the necessary capital to start the sort of business that could be making you $50 million a month and much more. Congratulations, you are now a success. But what are you going to do with all that money? The first thing I would like to share with you is giving back. Having a lot of money is great by all means, but being the richest of the graveyard, it's pointless. Money is simply a tool that we use to measure exchanges in value. This also means that the more value you provide to a market, to its customers, the more money, the more revenue, the more profit you will generate. Business is really simple when you break it down to its core components. It's not rocket science, unlike some people might try to sell you. And now at this stage, it's not about chasing after more money, because there is no point. So give back to the people that you love. You can use some of your money to retire your parents, to offer gifts to the people that you love. People that supported you from the start are far more valuable and will always be far more valuable than any amount of money you will ever make. In a world full of fake people, the ones who supported you from the start, even when you had nothing, they deserve the best treatment. So take care of them because they are very precious. And then why not spend 30% of what you make on whatever it is that you want? If you want to buy a large mansion, go right ahead. If you want a Rolex, go right ahead. If you want a fancy car, have it. Yacht vacation, do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I sincerely believe that the people that you see online who tell you that if you want to become wealthy, you should never buy a $5 Starbucks coffee, or that you should save every penny and invest $200 a month for 50 to 60 years straight in the stock market to hopefully maybe one day retire with millions in the bank, those people, they don't really understand what life is about. If you're like me, your goal is to be free, to travel and to work from wherever you want in the world, or at least to have the ability to do so, to choose your own schedule and to be your own boss, not to penny pinch all of your life and maybe, if you're lucky, one day enjoy retirement. If you're like me, you want to live a life that is worth living. You want to wake up every day full of energy, full of gratitude for the life that you have. You want to be able to provide for any of your loved ones immediately. You want to have great vacations, to live a life of luxury, freedom, and abundance. Now, if you want to start your own online business, click the link in the description below. I recorded a free video analyzing every popular business model to figure out which is the best for beginners. And on top of that, I'll also share with you the simple 3-step process that we use to help people obtain financial independence as quickly as possible. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. It's always great to exchange with you guys. I reply to every single comment. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel if you're into business related content, and with that said, I am actually waiting for you on the other side.